Hello friends, Betty McKnit here, your crochet mama, and I'm here to work on the 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. I've got it about 3/4 of the way done, and man, am I getting tired of it, but it's gonna be great when it's done. But here it is. It's made with Lion brand Respun yarn and a Furls Odyssey hook in a size I, which I believe is 5.5 millimeters. May they rest in peace. I hope they bring these back because I love them, but thankfully I got myself all stocked up. And let's see, I am streaming on all your favorite places. I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, and I am on YouTube. So if you prefer the picture in picture where you can see my face and see me talking and see what I'm working on, go to one of the landscape platforms. But if you like the engagement, TikTok is the place to be. So, you know, pick your poison, pick your poison. So I'm gonna put my TikTok device up overhead so they can see what I'm doing on TikTok. And let's get started. Do, do, do. So remember how I'm still not able to zoom in, so I must still have that filter on. Remember how I had that filter with the sticker the one day, and then I went in there to check that, and apparently I still had that filter on. I just didn't have a sticker in place. So that's why it's not letting me zoom in and out. But anyways, I thought I fixed it, but apparently not. Apparently not. Good job, Betty. Good job. Okay. Let's put this up here without knocking anything over. And let me just check one more thing. Do. Oh, why is it all zoomed in like that? This is so weird. Why is this so zoomed in? Very strange. Zoom out. Thank you. Okay, that's better. Zoom out. Yeah, so this whole start to finish thing, it seemed like a good idea at the time. But this is the first time I've done like a full size 6-day blanket from start to finish, and it's a lot. It is a lot. And because I am such a stubborn person, I refuse to give up. I mean, I could just get all the repeats done, and I might do that because I mean, do y'all really need to see me do 9 more lives of just sitting here working on this? 9, 10 more lives. It's so many. It is so many. They're starting to just all look the same. Even like I make the TikToks where I do the time lapse and I do the whole live in like a minute, and they all look the same. Now I have my yarn just like tangled up around. There we go. All right, there. Here we go. Here we go. I got it all twisted. Don't get it twisted. I have to move all my stuff off my desk. Okay. This is the other element of this blanket is this my Scented Stitches Stitch Balm in the scent Cheer. And look how much I have left. I'll put it like that so you can see it. Um, looks like I'm on row 4 and I stopped right in the middle. I must have been tired. If I remember right, my camera was acting up, and uh, right before I came on tonight, they did a they did an update. The software updated, so maybe they've addressed some of those issues. Who knows? Because it does seem like those problems that I have with my overhead camera, like they sometimes they happen and sometimes they don't. They like go back and forth. So I'm using 6 colors on this blanket. So this and I wanted to make a 70-inch blanket, which I think this is going to end up being a little longer than 70 inches, just because of how many stripes I had to make. So let me see. I have to go through the colors a total of 4 times, and this is my third. This is my third repeat of the 6 colors. So next will be this one, and this is the last color in the sequence. So that's next, and then I have to go through all the colors again to here. So that's why I'm saying maybe I'll just get to that point. I don't know. This is supposed to be a crochet along, but I don't think anyone's crocheting along with me right now, but in the future somebody may crochet along with me for all 20 some of these videos. Who knows? If you can stand listening to me talk for that long. Listen to my goofball stories. Hey, Kuromi lover. You're crocheting along with me? What you working on? So I have an idea for, you're making a hat. I have an idea for the edge, for the border of this blanket. It's just an idea. I haven't tried it out. Today I um, spent a lot of time working on the 6-day Ridgy Didge star, and I did the pattern very differently than I usually do. Hey Pat, you're making a 6-day baby cocoon. Aww, how cute. Um, I have just been, you know, you the star blanket went viral again back in late October, and it's been going pretty strong ever since. I get a lot of Amy says I'm working on a poncho for Kaylin. Nice. I'm getting a lot of questions about the star blanket, and when I get the same questions about something over and over and over again, I go in and I rework the pattern and I rewrite it, because I feel like if multiple people are asking me the same question, number one, I get tired of answering it, and number two, it's probably not really clear. So um, I had some changes that I wanted to make to how the star blanket patterns are written. And I started making those changes when I was doing the Ridgy Didge Supernova on the lives. I kind of reworded some of them, and then I started thinking, well, all the star patterns should be reworded like this because would be so much easier to understand than how I wrote it. Okay. It's such a big undertaking to redo things. Um, there are I have PDFs available for download in a bunch of different places. You know, like they're in my Shopify store, they're on Ravelry, they're in my membership, they're on Etsy, they're some of them are on Lovecraft, some of them are at Annie's. So it's a big undertaking to update something and make sure that all the updates and the corrections make it to all the different places. I have individual patterns and then I have bundles of patterns. So it's a big undertaking. But I decided, at least with the Ridgy Didge star, I could do that one correctly and I could put more progress photos in the pattern because there aren't any in it at all. There's just a couple of the, the start, the beginning rounds. So um I don't usually include a lot of them just because they're very difficult to take. It's very time consuming. It makes the pattern take longer to write. It's, you know, basically most of y'all are making it just fine without those progress photos. So I don't like to dumb down my patterns to at all really. But I do know that progress photos are helpful. So I added a bunch of progress photos to the 6-day Ridgy Didge star, and that's what I was doing today. And I think I have a final draft of that. And so that I should be coming out with that pretty soon. I worked on that, and I've got the chaos blanket pretty much done. I think I'm going to have that tested up in some different weights of yarn, and I'll get that one going. So that's kind of next. And then uh, I've got the Ridgy Didges, the Superstar and the Supernova to get finalized and written up and put out there. And there's just a lot. I got a lot. But I got a lot done today. Yesterday I did a big newsletter, and this email thing is a big friggin' deal. I have people's emails are getting rejected from different places because if you send too many emails from Gmail now, you will they'll start getting rejected. So I've had that happening, even though I've been working on doing that whole authentication process. If you don't send emails to like a mailing list, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyways, I was pretty productive this weekend, even though I napped quite a bit as well. Hey, Michelle, what are you trying to say? feel like getting sick put me really far behind. That's how I feel right now. I feel like behind. Whoops, where'd it go? Hi, Cindy. How are you? Okay, now we have to turn it over. Oh, I'm doing better. Hanging in there. I'm still dragging, but I'm okay. I'm definitely feeling better. By the time I made it down to the pharmacy, which is a half hour away, to get my prescription for my inhaler, I didn't really need it that much anymore. So I've only used that thing a couple of times, but it's so weird. It's like I feel better for a little while and then I'll, have a have a coughing fit. Wake up with coughing fits. I'm coughing now just cuz I was thinking about it. I guess there was a big snowstorm over the weekend. How did everybody do weather-wise this weekend? Thank you. I don't know what just happened, but thank you. Will take some time, plus you need to get your strength back. Yes, that's true. I feel very weak. I feel very weak. And I need to get somebody in here to help me clean my house because it's just, how when you've been sick and it's just gross. And I've been running humidifiers and stuff, and it's like there's a film all over everything, and I just can't get to the bottom of getting everything wiped down. Today, yes, actually, I started this project yesterday and I finished it up today, but that was taking all the cans out of my Lazy Susan, because it's broken and it doesn't spin. So I have to leave it open all the time. And then all these crumbs and all this crap gets in there. And I just pulled, I thought some of that, because I have people come to visit me and stay for like a week because I live in a beach house. So sometimes I buy things that I don't really eat. Um, and uh, so I have a lot of cans and that. I just was at the point where I needed to go through that and pull out stuff that had expired. And to my surprise, there was not that much in there that was expired. But it definitely needed done. So I pulled out that entire cabinet, emptied it all up, all the way out, wiped everything down, vacuumed inside the thing, took out the plastic liners and washed them off. And like that was like a big thing, but it was really bothering me. Um, but that's done, so I feel better. But that was a 2-day project. Um, yeah, sometimes it takes me a while. And I like to cook. I like to roast things, and then I don't want to clean up the pans. I hate doing dishes. Oh, somebody says, let me see what's going on over here. It was 26 yesterday in Kentucky, and by Thursday it's going to be in the 60s. Everyone's going to get sick. Really crappy driving on Friday morning, covered in snow, and I have to be at work early. Otherwise, a great weekend. Wow. Michelle says, you've been sick too. I'm just getting over COVID. Oh, I don't think what I had was COVID. I'm not sure what I had, but it developed into bronchitis, and that was really annoying. And when you go to the doctor, they give you a antibiotic and a steroid, and I took all that stuff, and it didn't really, I feel like when you take an antibiotic, and if what you have is bacterial, you start to feel better like almost immediately, and it didn't really do anything. So but I did get better, but it didn't really make me it didn't really I didn't really see that much difference from the meds. So the steroid definitely messes me up, and I feel long-term effects from that. Like I felt that today. Like uh I'll get really lightheaded, or it will, I'll get like when I haven't eaten in a while, I'll get really shaky and stuff like that. I don't usually get like that, but those steroids kind of mess with your hormones, so I've been trying to just take really good care of myself, get lots of rest. We just had flurries this weekend and cold. Okay. Bronchitis takes a long time to recover from. Yeah, I feel like that's true. I feel like every time I get sick, it takes longer to recover. It takes more out of me, and it takes longer to recover. Hey, Sam, I am. Thank you very much. my little marker here. That's to remind me to do this. I used to get it at least once a year, take a couple of months, if not more, to. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a rough start to my year. Now it's halfway through February, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm chasing my tail a little bit. Thanks. I do feel better. I'm just still, not 100%. And like I took a short walk down to the beach yesterday, and granted it was really cold and really windy, but I was so that makes it harder to walk. And actually being out and breathing cold air, I don't think is good at all when you have bronchitis. So I really minimized my time out there, even though I just haven't been out to the beach that much because it's just been so cold. And I'm just trying, I'm trying to get better here. So I've just been like, just looking out the window at the beach, and staying in the house. But I did walk down there, I think it was yesterday, and it was really windy, it was really blowing, it was really cold, and I was just like like just wheezing. It's scary. Thank goodness I don't have like a 9 to 5 and have to report to somebody. I have 24/7 crochet duties. So tomorrow, let me see, what events do I have? I have some fun events this week in my membership community. I have 3 meetings this week. Actually, one of them is open to anybody, but tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I've got. I used to call it Craft and Chat, but now I call it Crochet and Connect. It's the same thing, but I just wanted different words. Crochet and Connect at 10 a.m. in the morning. So we just hang out on Zoom and we work on our stuff and we yak. Um, and there's no like no lesson or a specific conversation. It's just hang out and crochet together or knit. I'm opening up more and more to knitting because I have a knitting project that I from a couple years ago that I still have to finish. Amy Bryson says I get to come tomorrow because it's a holiday. Yay! Michelle says I lost my taste and smell. It was weird. Now everything tastes terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I I hope that you get your taste and smell back soon. That's terrible. Um, okay, Crochet and Connect tomorrow, and then Tuesday, it's evening my time, so it's 7 p.m. Eastern time. And it's a 1 hour meeting, but it's a somatic meeting where I, teach my self care, lead people through some self care skills, and I do a little a little, like group coaching session, and we talk about hand care and body care and mindfulness and uh, um, intentionality. And that's what I call somatic crochet. And I had a good friend reach out to me recently, and she was like, I really love what you're doing. Is it for knitters too? So I'm starting to call it somatic crochet and somatic knitting. But, anyways, it's a self care um, check in, and it is for anyone who wants to learn more about making their crochet or knitting mindfulness practice and a healing wellness routine, part of your self care. So that is tomorrow at 7, and you don't have to sign up for the McKnitiverse to be part of that. I do it once a month for the public for free, and you can just find the link to that on my website. I think you can do somaticcrochet.com and you'll find it. And just sign up for the Zoom call and show up. Uh, and I do think I'm going to start recording them. Hey, Sophie, just started the 6-day superstar blanket. Wonderful. I'm going to start recording them for the people that can't be there, and keep like a little library of them inside the McKnitiverse. So let me see. Crochet and Connect, you have to be part of the McKnitiverse to do that. And the somatic crochet and knitting is free and open, but you have to sign up. Let's see what else. And then on Thursday, I am doing a design workshop meeting, and that is in the McKnitiverse. And that is for the people who like to talk about what I'm working on and what I'm doing next, and they like to try out the new stuff before it's really officially ready. And they like to chime in and give me ideas, and it's like my advisory panel when I'm making something new. Hi, Abby. I love your Star Blanket YouTube videos. Oh my goodness. My videos are terrible. I'm really trying to improve my YouTube channel. I'm not good at videos. I'm good at teaching and I'm good at writing patterns, but I'm not good at making those videos. I don't enjoy editing them. Woohoo! Looky here. It's time to change colors. Celebrate color change. Come on. People are like, Betty needs to recover from bronchitis before she sings. I sound like a Muppet. So now I'm on row 5. This is the Ridgy Didge row. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ridgy Didge row. I had to go back and forth with your blog to get it, but they were both really helpful. I try to tell people don't try to do it just from the video, but I'm going to make videos that are just, in fact, I started working on them and I haven't edited them yet, but I'm going to make videos for the people that don't want to look at the pattern. I've been resisting doing it because it's really hard. It's really hard and it's really time consuming, and I just get annoyed. I'm like, there's a pattern, just read that. But I get that some people just don't want to read the pattern, they just want the video. So I'm going to try and make better videos that can kind of stand alone, because I get a lot of negativity over there on YouTube. And I know that there are other creators that make much better videos than I do, but I'm not them. But yeah, those videos that are posted there are not meant for you to make the entire thing without having to go back and forth to the blog. Thanks for sharing the live. You hope my knees are feeling better. Well, I have lipedema, so I think when I made those videos was probably before I had surgery. I had 6 rounds of surgery for lipedema, and then I had a seventh surgery because uh, lipedema will start to grow in the places that aren't treated. So I had to have a seventh surgery. I'm supposed to have one more on my back, but I haven't been feeling great this year, so I postponed that. I was supposed to do that in September, and I didn't do it. I put it off, and I probably should have gone and done it when I had the chance, because now I've been sick. But yeah, I have one more round of surgery to go. So my knees are still pretty bad, but my I had all that surgery, so my lipedema is better now. But unfortunately, the surgery is just a reset. There's no cure for it, but it's a reset for your body, and it did really help. I'm not in nearly as much pain as I was when I made those videos, but it's still like really not good for me to sit uh in a chair for hours at a time. It's not good for anyone, but even just to sit on here for a couple of hours and crochet live can be really hard on my legs. So I get a lot of swelling in my legs, and I it's not as bad as it used to be. It's much better now. But yeah, so I have a pneumatic pump that I sleep in that pumps the lymphatic fluid out of my legs, and it's a lot of self-care. I think I made those videos in 2020 or 2021 or even 2019. They look like they were in my house in Newburgh, New York, and I left there in the end of 2022. 2022 or the end of 22 or the end of 21. Yeah, I think I left at the end of 21. But I am doing better. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, I raised money to do my surgery and everything. I raised money. I raised like $9,000 to get the first one done. And then after that, I had enough that came back from my insurance that I was able to use the insurance when it came back to do the next surgery. So I was able to get through all those surgeries. I think I had to take a personal loan at one point, to do one of them. Hi, Hessa. And I went through a big thing with my insurance company where they wanted money back that they had paid me, like $12,000. They said we shouldn't have given you that money, give it back. And I never got it back. And I ended up, I didn't give it back, but they ended up withholding a further reimbursement that they owed me. And they paid themselves back that way. They said there was a check in the mail, but there was no check. And then I fought with them for months, reissue the check, reissue the check. And they said they would, but then it wouldn't come. They would cancel it. And they kept sending me these really scary letters. Because I was married to a naval officer for over 20 years, so my health insurance comes from the military, but I have to pay for it, but it comes from the military. Okay. And so the letters are very scary from the government, like you owe this much money. And um I kept, trying to get different people, like going over people's heads. And I called my representatives, my government representatives in the Senate and the Congress, and asked them for help. Um, and at the end of the day, I ended up, you know, where they kept that money that they owed me, and they paid off the debt that they had created for me, and so it zeroed out. But according, really they owed me $15,000. But the scary letters stopped coming, and I finally just said, you know what? They can have that. They can have that money. I've never said you can have that money for that amount of money before. Like I've like, you know, $300-400, $700 squabbling over something of that nature to me is not worth it. But I've never been to that point. Over $15,000 was a lot of money. But I eventually just said enough is enough, and I let it go. And that freed up a lot of my energy when I did that. Oof. Because I would get those letters, and I would, they would just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm from the UK, and I've got the only downside is waiting times. Yeah. Well, when I'm ready to have that other surgery, I can have it whenever I want, pretty much. I just have to call them and make an appointment, but I have to self pay. And then I have to try, I have to go back to my insurance and try to get, a reimbursement from them, which they're probably going to, probably going to have to fight them for it. So I only have this one left, and then I'm probably going to have to go back every couple years for little touch ups, because like I had my whole legs done, but when they when they did my legs, they went from the ankle to above my knee, and then on the next one they went from above the knee, and they kept going up, and something happened in that little, like, woo! Oh my gosh, I have no idea what just happened, but that was really loud, and that was really fun. Oh wow, thank you. Yay! Nice. Thank you, Abby. That was great. Thank you. Yeah, so anyways, I'm probably gonna have to just keep going back every couple years and having little things taken care of here and there. But I'm better. I am better, but um thank you for asking. It was like my knees must have been really, sometimes I forget, like you forget when you are able to, like, walk and move around, you forget that you weren't able to do that sometimes. So sometimes I'll just be walking around and I'll just be like, oh yeah, before I had those surgeries, I wasn't able to this and I wasn't able to that. And I was really in a lot of pain, a lot of pain. Like I had to quit working and everything. I used to be a dance and yoga instructor. That's what I used to do before I did this. And then my lipedema got really bad. And um, didn't know what it was for why it was, the way it was for a really long time, years, in fact. Um, I remember I had a bunch of testing done. They were like, they tested like all my organ systems, and then they were like, well, let's test for MS, let's test for this, let's test for that. And I remember my doctor saying, you're perfect. Looking at my blood test, you're perfect. And I'm like, I'm clearly not perfect. Like, I'm clearly not perfect. I can barely walk. And a year ago, I was teaching dance and yoga for a living. So, like, what's happening? What's going on? And it just took a while. It took a while to figure it out. But I'm better now. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for the gifts, and please keep me posted on your blanket. And if you need any help whatsoever, either join my Facebook group or just reach out to me on TikTok or, through one of the social media channels. Send me a photo of your work if you get stuck or get confused. Send me the photo and I'll take a look and I'll help you figure it out. Thank you so much. Appreciate your kind words and your gifts tonight. Have a good night. I have the best followers. Y'all are the best. Sincerely. Hi, Midnight. I just want to get so much done on this tonight. I want to get so much done. I want to get this blanket done. I don't want to be working on this shit anymore. Sorry. I try not to swear on my channels too much. But if you come on into my membership community, you'll hear me say all the bad words. Sometimes I get real colorful if I get mad about something. How are you? And I get it. I started a sweater and realized I needed it by this Friday. Oh my goodness. What kind of sweater are you making? Pullover. You've heard that joke about the lady who was knitting while she was driving, right? Well, the cop comes up beside her and he sees her knitting and he hits the lights and he goes, "Pull over." And she holds up the sweater and she says, "No, officer, it's a cardigan." That's the oldest one in the book, as they say. I should turn the heat down so this is going under the desk all the way to my feet. That's how long it is. Thank you so much, Jeannie Lynn. Hey, Nora Rose. Hey, Moo Moo. No one ever pronounces your name right? Is there some other way to spell Jeannie? I don't know what's so hard about it. Jeanne, come on. Well, I get it because my son's name is Teague. Teague. And when he was a baby, somebody um, thought that I said his name was Teeth. She was like, "Teeth? You named your kid Teeth?" And my husband at the time was like, "Yeah, we wanted him to be a dentist." And then people would people, and this was like just when he was a baby, a newborn baby, they would call on the phone and they would say, the telemarketers would call and say, "Is Tiagu there?" And I'm like, "Come on, Tiagu, like, the heck, are you kidding?" Yeah, I had my kids' names put on my arm. Teague and Maya. Thanks. Teague is an old Irish name and it means bard or poet. And it's really interesting because my son he turned out to be a prolific musician, and he plays a bunch of instruments and sings and writes songs. And then my daughter, we gave her the name Maya because it was in a baby book in a list of artistic power names, and she is an artist. This is the 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. If you hit the poll, you can get all the deets. All the deets are in the poll. Thank you. You're working on a supernova, Moo? How's that going? It's probably my most challenging pattern. You're still in the part before it has the small points. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're part of my Facebook group, but if you find yourself struggling with that pattern, just reach out. Best way to get help is to join the 6-day blanket group, the 6-day project group on Facebook. But I have a whole Facebook group devoted to working on these 6-day crochet projects, and there's 25,000 people in there. So if you need an answer real quick, you don't want to wait for me to look at my email or check my DMs, you can post in that group. Hey, Midnight, you're not supposed to make it from the video. It's not meant to show you how to make it. You need the pattern. It says that in all the descriptions. This video does not stand alone. So I know that there are a lot of people that don't want to read patterns, but you have to for this one. There are also a lot of people who said they learned how to read patterns by following along with, taking my pattern and using the videos that I make. So the 6-day star blanket is not difficult. All it has is chains, single crochet, and double crochet. When you will have difficulty is when you don't want to listen or follow the instructions. So the instructions are, don't do it just from the video. Get the pattern, read through the pattern, and use the video to help you get unstuck. Or come into my Facebook group and ask questions there. Or even people have made TikToks and tagged me and asked me a question, and I've helped them. I am the most available designer on the entire internet, and I know that for a fact. So I don't want to hear anybody complain. If you get stuck, it's probably because you didn't listen. So get the pattern. It's free on my site, or you can spend $4 and get the PDF. Not only that, but those videos are so old. I'm going to take them down. Because it's really actually kind of driving me crazy how many people are commenting over there. And y'all don't see all the comments because I remove them. But there's a lot of rude comments. And people telling me I need to slow down, I need to this, I need to that. First of all, it's not live. You know, like you're commenting on a 3 or 4 year old video. I can't redo it. I can't stop and rewind and redo it. It's 3 years old. So I just really don't understand the commenters who come in and say, you need to slow down. You need to stop talking. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, it's over. It already happened. This is the past. I don't understand what they think they're accomplishing when they do that. And then they get mean, and you know what I do? I just delete it and I remove them from my channel so they can never comment again. That's how I roll. Because it says right there, this is not the pattern. This is just to help you through the tricky bits, and it's also for engagement. Woohoo, row 2 and 3 are next. You know, the great thing about row 2 and 3 is how fast you can do them. My blanket is long enough that I don't have to flip the whole thing if I don't want to. I can just flip the top of it. Just a little bit hard to do on this when sitting at a table. But if I was sitting on my couch or sitting on my chair, I would just flip the top part. Hi, Brooke. I'm excited to see you too. It's been about an hour. So you all know that you should stretch about every hour. I use these little timers to help me. In fact, I'm going to put this one on and I'm going to set it for an hour. so that I remember. Thank you so much, my dear. Guys, I don't shake my hands. I'm trying to do it gently, but I don't shake my hands out because I'll never forget this. When I had my daughter, I we had a nurse come to the house to check up on her, like, I don't know, a couple days after we went home from the hospital. And I'll never forget that nurse had me shake the thermometer down. She handed it to me and said, "Could you shake this down for me, please?" And I said, "Sure." And she said, "I have carpal tunnel syndrome from shaking the thermometer." So for that reason, I never, I don't shake my hands. I don't think that is actually good for our wrists. But these are the things that I do. Yeah. Um, I use this, and I probably learned about this lymphatic massage oil with when I had my surgeries, because I was like buying compression garments and stuff in my Amazon account. So that's probably where I learned about this. But I use this on my hands, and it is not like super greasy. I can use it on my hands, and then I can pick my work right back up again. And it's, you all can see that my hands get kind of puffy, and it's because I have lipedema. And so I use that oil, and then I put the oil on my hands, and then I use this is called a fascia blaster, and it's a fascia tool. Yeah, it's also in my, if you go to my Amazon influencer store, it's in there, the somatic crochet store. It's called Bruisex. So if you the link is in my bio. And then this, I tried to put these in my Amazon store too, but people that ordered them were having a difficult time finding that they weren't available. So I see that they are it's from Ashley Black, Fascia Blaster, and it's not cheap. But I did see that there are like knockoff products now on Amazon that are kind of like this. But you can see everywhere that it's getting red is like where there's fascial adhesions that this breaks up, and then it brings the blood to the skin. So this is really good for those people that tension with your finger like this, and you have this, you know, you're making all this tissue under here tight and bound up. So this is, I'm one of those people. So this is really good here. I can actually feel like um I can actually feel in there where it's breaking up um something. I can feel like little knots in there and see how it's getting red. Yeah. So you really have to take care of your hands when you knit and crochet, okay? Now I'll it's not as fun to do the right hand because I'm right-handed, so it's easier to work on my left hand, but I'm just I use this like once per session. Usually I do it on my lives to show people what I do. But I have these little phase blasters like all over my house. This is where I feel it on this hand a lot, is right over my thumb and then up into my forearm and under here and the elbow. I have a burn right there, so I'm not going to go too crazy. But I get it like up into my forearm on this side. And I do not recommend, or well, I shouldn't probably say recommend, but it's true. I don't recommend compression gloves. And when I see people throwing on compression gloves because their wrists hurt or their hands hurt, then I always kind of cringe, because if you're hurting, putting a compression glove is not going to fix it, and you you need to stop crocheting, and you need to repair whatever habit is causing the pain. So my practice is mainly it's mainly preventative. I'm doing the 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. Okay, and then a little lymphatic drainage massage. Your lymphatics go up and they drain up here. Okay, so there's a little somatics for you. Let's see, row 2. Whoops. Hi, Tyler. Thanks for sharing the live. What you working on? Easy does it, DK shawl. Okay. After my sweater, I'm gonna do the 6-day kid blanket. It's on my to-do list. Well, why don't you go back to your star blanket and we'll help you get past the third row. Yeah, we'll help you. I have those little bugs in my house because I have plants. I had to hit a couple of my plants with the hydrogen peroxide. They had a lot of bugs coming out of them. Okay, there goes my overhead. Usually when my overhead dies is when I do my exercises. I do like plants. I don't like those little bugs though, and I'm still I used to have a lot of plants. I used to keep a lot of plants, and I was a Navy wife, so we had to move a lot, and then I got rid of a lot of my plants that I had. Um and then I wasn't successful doing plants in the last um couple places that I lived. There we go. All right. Um, but I think the energy is really great where I live now. So my plans are doing pretty well and I'm learning. I'm I'm a very nurturing person, but I also can be like over nurturer and intrusive, I guess would be the word. And so sometimes I overwater them. Hence the bugs. Yeah, I got some carnivorous plants, and that's been fun too, raising those guys. Is butterwort, is that the one that looks like a little succulent? I think I ordered one of the. I have a couple carnivorous plants coming, but for Christmas I bought myself a little pack of carnivorous plants, but two of them were Venus flytraps and they died. Um, and I didn't know that you are supposed to keep them in like in water basically. And I went away for like a week when they were still pretty young, and and I came back and a couple of them were dead, but the other three are still doing pretty good. So we'll see. They're very tiny. I probably should repot them maybe in bigger pots, but they're still in those little tiny pots that they came in. But I'm just trying to let them get started off on the right foot, and get strong. And I know they probably need a certain special kind of soil mix, and I just don't want to kill those guys. I want them to get big. And I bought these big plants at Costco, and when I bought them, the lady was like, um, might want to pick some different ones because they like all had brown on the leaves that I didn't notice. And I was like, I think they just need to be repotted. And two of them are doing pretty well, but the third one is just struggling. And that's the one that has all the bugs in it. It's probably the one I've overwatered too much. So I don't know. I have 7 betas around my house near my plants. One of them is a female beta. Okay. Huh. I have a lot of those sticky things too that catch the bugs and the catchy thing that draws them in at night. So I've been leaving the lights off because I had been leaving the lights on at night, like leaving on a like a night light, but I've been turning everything off when I go to bed. So they don't, just like hang around the stove where I cook my food. Then I go over there and there's like all these bugs because that's the only light on at night. So I definitely need to hire a house cleaning service to come in and help me keep my house clean because I'm a little overwhelmed here. I have cathedral ceilings too, and it's like I can just see the dust up there, and I'm like, how am I gonna get up there and clean that? Stink bugs are so bad here this year, and the Asian ladybug beetles. Now, I have not seen any of those. I think I had one stink bug in the house the whole time I was living here so far. I've seen one. And I'm glad because I really don't like those guys. I know, right? But I do have the little. I have a yard service too that comes and sprays around for bugs, so it's not that bad. My house is up on pylons, so I don't get a lot of pests up here. I'm on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I'm a North Carolinian now. Oh, nice. It's the 6-day Ridgy Didge. Six-day Ridgy Didge. Hey, Melanie. Melanie says hello there. I just got home from work. Welcome home. A little late to the party. That's okay. Just wanted to know, did you make a swatch video for this blanket? Yes, I did. I do think I have to revisit my swatch video and talk a little bit more about how I measured and how I determined how many stripes I needed for the blanket. because I do have a resize video where I talk about how to measure and adjust for width, but I don't uh, have a video. I don't have information on my site or in my patterns about how to adjust for length. I only did the width part. Can you tell me how to make it, please? It's the 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. It's on my website, bettymcknit.com. The baby blanket version is on my website. I would say go over there and take a look around and get to know, you know, me and my work and what I do. Dallas colors. First, it's bettymcknit.com, my dear. Go to my bio on my page. Go to my profile page and click the links. So, first of all, the colors on TikTok are not accurate. So, I don't know what Dallas's colors are, but I thought they were blue and white, um, or blue and silver. And there's 6 colors here, so. Hi from Maryland. I did a king size blanket and okay, all right. I see your comments now. All right. King size blanket and pillowcase in 2.5 weeks. Oh my goodness. Okay. I thought you were saying that the blanket that I was making was Dallas colors. I was like, what? All right, I get it now. There was someone else commenting, and I think I just got confused. Yeah, Melanie, if you go back and watch the videos from the beginning, I talk about it a lot. I just need to make an instructional video, but you'll see me kind of go through and work it out. But it's not really instructional like here's how you do it. You can do it, but it it will be helpful. And all that information is going to be in the pattern once I do it. So once I get the whole thing written up, which I'm getting close. I got to work out an edge to figure out an edge. Oh, thank you, Miss Brooke. You have a good night. Thanks for being here. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, I can't make any promises about timeline, but I have lots of other patterns. Row 3. Did you have a nice Valentine's Day? Yes, I went to Virginia Beach and I got my hair cut, got my nails did, and got a nice pedicure and did a little shopping, got myself a burger, nice burger, and came home. Angel Ghost says, I love watching you. I can't crochet for myself at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry. Why can't you crochet right now? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Maybe you can do some of those loom hats, loom knitting. Are you America's Next Top Model? Oh, sounds like you're taking care of yourself. Well, I live on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, so during the summer months, this place is hopping, and during the winter, there's about 6 of us out here. And I have just found for my own mental health that it's good for me to leave the island, have a reason to leave the house and leave this area every couple of weeks and, you know, be in, I call it the land of the living. Because it's, I live in the house that I live in used to be a vacation beach house where people would come to vacation. And, it's got like 4 bedrooms, and I sleep in one, I work in one, and then I have my living space, and then it's got a kitchen, like an open floor plan kind of thing. It's like a beach cottage. So I have everything I need right here. And I love my little life. And I'm right by the beach, and I can go out there and walk every day and see the dolphins. And I moved here in an act of radical self care. Okay. But from time to time, find that I can go a little cuckoo if you know, if I'm out here for too long on my own. And so every couple of weeks I head up the road, and I make myself go do something and be around people. I saw online that there's a country line dancing class out here once a week, and I really want to go do that. I think that would be fun. So I'm working up the nerve to go down there. Are there tan lines? I don't have any tan lines right now because it's been cold. But probably in a month or so, people are starting to get their houses ready to open back up. It's been really cold. But spring break is coming, so very soon there will be people. I saw people today that looked like, and usually they come in on like Sunday night out here. So when I was just coming in to get on my live, I saw people walking by going out to the beach, and it looked like a family. They looked like tourists. So I think the tourists are coming pretty soon. And I get a sad and also a happy feeling about it, cuz a lot of the restaurants are, not that I don't really go to eat in restaurants unless I have guests. Um but things will start opening back up cuz stuff closes all the way down. Sounds like you got a bikini body. What? I live on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Yeah, I really love it here. And a couple years ago, I came down here with my daughter. I used to come down here. I mean, I've been coming down here to vacation for 30 years. And, oh, what's happening? Oh, I forgot to plug in my phone. Sorry, I forgot to plug in my phone. Um, I've lived in a bunch of different places because I was married to a Navy guy for a while. And he was, how they are, just transferred around for years and years. Yeah, if you've never been here, you should definitely come and see it. It's really beautiful. But when I first got married back in the early 90s, um, my now ex-husband was stationed in Norfolk. So we started out in Norfolk, and that's when I started coming down here. And I had my whole family coming down here. Like my sister comes, started coming down to vacation, and I've been coming down here ever since, just to relax, recharge. The beaches are beautiful, they're not crowded. You come down and you rent like a whole house to stay in, and it's just really really nice. It's unlike um anywhere else. And I just love the beach. So I will come down here to recharge my life, and at different times. And I was down here with my daughter in March of 2021, and I hadn't been here in a few years. And she was going through something at the time, and I said, let's go to the Outer Banks for a few days and just hang out down there for a couple days and just relax. Let's just go down there and do nothing for a couple days. And she said, okay. And we came down here, and I was living in New York at the time, and I was starting to get the feeling like New York is not really the place for me. I don't really want to stay here. Maybe I'll go back to Hawaii. I was having all these thoughts, and I came down here with my daughter, and we were walking on the beach, and I said to my daughter, I feel happy here. And that's like when I knew that this was, I was like, I could just move down here. There's no reason for me not to move somewhere where I feel happy. So that's what I did. Been here for a little over 2 years. This is my third year. This is my third winter here. I moved down here in October. So I went right into winter, and this was my third winter here. Do you like Hawaii too? Yes, I love Hawaii. I love Hawaii. I think I'll probably end up there. Um, Once I'm done making all my money and traveling around, and I want to buy this place that I'm in. I'd like to have a place in Hawaii, like a little studio apartment there where I can go and hang out and work in Hawaii. I went to school in Hawaii. I went to the University of Hawaii and got my master's degree, so I always want to go back there and work. And I've been back there to put up my choreography festival in 2019, and it was amazing. It was an absolutely amazing time. I lived in Aiea on the island of Oahu. And when I go back there to visit, I like, even though it's for tourists, I like to stay in Waikiki downtown and walk down to the beach and be a tourist. Because I really was, even though I went to the University of Hawaii and I learned hula from a real kumu, and I learned about the culture and I learned about the people, I still don't consider myself, someone who belongs there. I'm still more of a tourist than anything else, but I think I'm a very respectful tourist. But the people in Hawaii have been asking for people to stop going to their island, and there's been a lot of damage done to their island. And so that's one of the reasons why I did not move back there and I came here instead. But I went to UH, and I got my master's degree there. And it was such a beautiful experience. I really loved it. Oh my God. Spectacular. I made friends, good friends that are still my friends today. They're like family. Like the kind of friends who take care of each other. Those are the kinds of friends I made in Hawaii. Like my friend Sarah, when I got divorced and I didn't know where to go. And she was like, "Well, we're going to Newburgh, New York. Would you like to come?" So I went to Newburgh because my friend Sarah was there. My daughter was in school in Brooklyn, and I couldn't really afford to go to Brooklyn. So I went to Newburgh, and I was there for 5 years. I have had some awesome experiences. That's why, like the guy that I married wasn't so great, but his career allowed me to have all these adventures that I always wanted to have. And it was, his income was really stable. So I could focus on taking care of the kids and maximizing the experiences that we had and like giving them. It was really important to me that my kids had some stability in their lives with all that moving around. So I didn't want them to like go to a bunch of different schools, and have to be the new kid and make all those adjustments. So I homeschooled them until they got, adjusted. I have two kids. My son just turned 30 and my daughter is 28. I had my kids kind of young. Friends that take care of each other are family. Doesn't matter if you're not related. Isn't that the truth? I do adore them. They're my world. They're everything to me. And they're on their own now, which is really hard for me, actually. But my daughter, Maya, is the sweetest person. And we, I don't get to see her as much as I would like. Um, but when we are together, we have a really lovely time. She always wants me to cook for her, which I don't always, it's not my favorite thing in the world to do, cook, but for my daughter Maya, I will do anything. She, uh, whenever she comes to visit me, I always make like a big batch of chicken broth that she takes with her. And she loves my soups, so I'll make like broccoli and cheddar soup. And what else do I do that she likes? Oh, just like basic like salmon, um, things like that. She likes my soup, and she likes these sandwiches that I make in the oven that are just basically like, you know, toasted sandwiches. But I feel like I can feed her anything and she'll be happy with it. I got a question on the third row. 6-day blanket is supposed to be chain three, then chain one. What do you mean chain three, then chain one? What do you mean? Food is love. Are you a good cook? I don't think I'm a terribly great cook, but I have a few things that I am really good at, and soup is one of them. I love making soup. I make this potato leek soup. I haven't made that. I'll make that maybe next time she comes. I'll make the potato leek soup because she likes that too. But yeah, I'll just like save all my bones in the freezer, and then when she comes, I'll just like put them all on the, cook them all down and put that in jars and send her home with it, and she'll go home um with like a bunch of stuff, bunch of food. It says chain 3, then 2DC, chain 1, 2DC. Yeah. So it's chain 3, 2DC, chain 1, 2DC. And then you repeat. Does it say to skip? I make soup all year in my crock pot. I don't have a crock pot, but I have one of those pressure cookers that you can use as a slow cooker. I never saw anyone crochet just like I do. Oh, you mean how you hold the yarn? Oh, wow. Yeah, but I didn't realize that because I was making mashed potatoes in those, but they make the potatoes taste weird. So I'm not gonna make mashed potatoes in there anymore. I'm just gonna boil the potatoes regular style. It's the 6-day Ridgy Didge blanket. You're welcome. Did you make blankets for your kids? Yes. I've made a lot of blankets for my kids. I made a blanket for my daughter for her birthday this past year because she asked me for new bedding for her bed. So I got her a bunch of new bedding and I crocheted her a matching star blanket to go on her bed. But I've made many, many blankets and things, hats and scarves and sweaters and all kinds of things for my kids. My daughter, just like my cooking, she will wear anything I make for her. In fact, she's always the one, if she sees me making something, will go, "Oh, is that for me?" She has a bunch of scarves and things and hats and things that I've made for her. Yes, my daughter will crochet and knit if there is a project or something that she wants to create. Um, I don't know, a couple visits ago, she had me buy her a bunch of yarn and hooks, and I set her up to crochet, and she sat there and she crocheted. And and then when she packed up to leave, she left the crochet here, and I said, "Don't you want to take that with you?" And she said, "No, I'm just going to work on that when I'm here, but that was really fun, and I am going to work on that again." And so she left it here, but that's just kind of her personality. She was the same way with musical instruments when she was younger. When there was a song she wanted to play, she would pick up a violin or sit down at the piano and she would learn it. And then she would be done. You wouldn't hear her playing music again for another year. But when she was ready to learn that piece, that was it. She would obsess until she got it. We had a lot of music and musical instruments in my house when they were growing up. We did. We played a lot of music together for a while there. I have a violin here and an ukulele. I haven't had them out in years. I stopped playing when my lipedema got really bad. I had neuropathy in my hands and my legs, and I couldn't actually even crochet or knit for a while there. That was really hard. I got really scared. Just realized I was holding my breath. Thank you, buddy. I finally got through third row. All right. I'm watching hula videos. Gonna practice with them. Might get my waistline back. Well, um, mm, well, in hula dance, having a waistline isn't really valued. That's one of those cultural dance forms that all all bodies are celebrated, and of course, Polynesian genetics, uh, you know, are bodies of all sizes. It's not unusual to be larger, on the larger side, in that dance form. There's no requirement to be thin. Hula dance really makes your legs strong because you're standing on bent legs a lot of the time. It's the shoulders. Now, sometimes I don't like doing stretches, like showing stretches in front of people because I'm hypermobile. I mean, I used to teach yoga, but you don't have to be super flexible to do yoga. But this is a good stretch for arms and shoulders, okay? Put the right elbow inside the left elbow, okay? Keep your hands with your thumbs facing towards you. So don't twist around and try and do this. Keep your thumbs facing towards you. And then pull the elbows down. Try and put your palms together. And if your palms don't go together, you can see mine are not together. But just keep your thumbs facing towards your face. And then pull down. And breathe. And then keep working the hands in towards the midline. So if they're coming out to the side, keep bringing them in towards the midline. And that should be a good stretch. And then switch. So put the left elbow inside the right elbow. Keep your thumbs facing towards you, towards your face. and then wrap the arms. This is Pat Jacobs got me back into my Bikram yoga practice. Unwind, bring your hands together and back, drop them back behind your head. Deep breath. All right. I don't think I'm going to be here another hour, but in case I am. And those timers are good reminders to stretch, but they also help me stay focused. Yeah, it has 15, 20, 30, and 60 on it. And then it came with a 1, 3, 5, and 10, which I don't use that much. I mainly use the 30 and 60-minute one. But I was writing an article about, if you are working sitting down and working for long periods of time, how often should you get up out of your chair? And I was recommending once an hour to people. And I did some research, and the research was like once every 20 minutes. And I was like, I know crocheters aren't doing that. I know crocheters are going to not even want to get up once an hour. Well, I think a lot of us need reminders to get up and move. during the pandemic, I had a thing where every time I was doing it on the 45 of the hour. So every time, because I wanted to get up once an hour. So every time I saw the clock on 45, I would get up. That was my practice. Move on 45, I called it. So I was doing that for a while because I was on Zoom calls constantly. So at 45 of the hour, I would just go off camera and I would get up and move around, not stay sitting in my chair that whole time. And then my sister introduced me to these little timers. So I'm not on Zoom calls as much as I used to be. So if you get up on the 45 of the hour, then you're moving every hour. If you set a timer for 60 minutes and then you get up and move, then you're moving for 10 or 15 minutes. It's not really once every hour. Sometimes when you get crochet, you get a good momentum and you don't want to interrupt it, even though you should get up and stretch. Do you find that it's exactly what I'm talking about? It's because I think it's possible to harm ourselves, and I don't think it's good for our bodies to, even though yes, you get a good momentum going on a project where you're really like in a zone or in a groove, but the fact is you can always put it down and pick it back up. Nothing is more important than your body and your health. No project. And I think that's what many of us love about crochet is we can just get lost in it. But I mean, I get it. It's like when you're having a really great dream and you wake up, and it's like, oh, I want that feeling back. Woohoo, I completed a whole stripe. You know what that means? I think I only have 5 stripes to go, or maybe 6. Good night, Midnight. Have a good night. Glad you picked your star blanket back up. My overhead battery light is blinking, so I'm just going to keep going until it dies. When it dies, I'll be done. Whoops. One more peek before my next color change, but I'm struggling to finish. What do you mean? Are you okay? You tired? Woohoo! It's Fjord next. I love this color. Fjord. Woohoo! Ridgy Didge. Ridgy Didge. So this is the first stripe of my last round of colors. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's no good. Why do you have neuropathy in your feet? What's going on? Doing another ridge row, 2 ridge rows in one night. I always get excited about that when I do more than one whole stripe. I remember when I was sick, it was a struggle to just complete one entire stripe. Man, I was probably just pushing myself a little too much. Thank you, Pam Pam. have nerve damage. Oh, and sciatica. Oh boy. Yeah, I had neuropathy in my legs and hands for a while when my lipedema got really bad. And you know what? When it made it go away for me was an energy attunement that I had. I went to this energy healing workshop, and these ladies came around and did like attunements on all of us. And when I got up after that, I was like, wow, I can feel my legs. And then the healer that did it to me said, I saw you dancing when I was doing your attunement. And it was like, it was crazy because I never said anything about having been a dancer. I was in there like I could barely walk. So, and after that, I didn't have neuropathy anymore. And that was really a relief because that neuropathy was bad and it was scary. Something about blue and orange together. I really like that color combination. I'm going to keep going until my battery dies. All right. Can't wait to see it. So I'll see you in the morning on the call. Yeah. I don't think I did that on purpose, but maybe that's something I'll check into to adjust those calls to fall on Monday holidays. Because it's only once a month for the AM calls. Oh, there goes my camera. So I guess this is why I've been stopping in the middle of the row. Because I've just been going until my camera dies. So let me just mark my... let me just mark it. Where I left off. All right, my friends. And I will see the McKnitiverse citizens in the morning. And if you want to, if you're not a member of that and you want to come join us for our meetings, you can just go ahead and join at BettyMcKnitiverse.com. BettyMcKnitUniverse.com is another link that I have. Look at this. Wow, it's really big. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now I'm feeling like I feel like I made good progress tonight. Because this is the last round of colors. So I'll just do my little thing where I lay it out. I can turn this off. I'll do this time. Make a heart with a cheer. Scented Stitches Stitch Balm. The YouTubers can't see what I'm doing, but I like to do this at the end. So when I do the whatchamacall, the time lapse. Wow, that took me a long time to get that word. All right, my friends, have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging with me. Bye. See you next time. Whoops. I don't know what's happening here.